Hello math enthusiasts! So today we are going to determine the standard equation of the circle with a diameter with endpoints A with coordinates -1 and 4 and point B with coordinates 4 and 2. So before we are going to construct our standard equation, we must first try to graph the given in this problem. So let's try and graph it, shall we? In this graph, we have here point A with coordinates -1 and 4 and point B with coordinates 4 and 2. So after plotting the points, if we will try to connect them, we will have here a line AB. So how will this help us form the standard equation? Let us recall that in a circle, any line that crosses to its center are all equal. We usually call it the diameter. So going back to our line AB, so line AB is the diameter of our circle. When we are trying to form a standard equation of the circle, we have to determine its circle and its radius. So let's try to find the center of our circle. We have here a line with two given endpoints, and our goal here is to find our center. So we are going to use our midpoint formula to find the center of the line AB. So the formula for our midpoint is, we have here, to find for our x coordinate, we will have x sub 2 plus x sub 1 over 2. And to find for our y coordinate, we have here y sub 2 plus y sub 1 over 2. So our first point here will serve as our x sub 1 for our x coordinate and y sub 1 for our y coordinate. And for our second point, we will use 4 as our x sub 2 and 2 as our y sub 2. Okay, and then use our formula. X sub 2 is 4 plus our x sub 1, which is -1 over 2, and y sub 2, which is 2, plus our y sub 1, which is 4 over 2. Okay, so 4 plus -1 is 3 over 2. 3 divided by 2 cannot be divided anymore, so let's just input 3 over 2 over here. Next, 2 plus 4 is 6. Divided by 2, we will have here 3. So this is now the midpoint of the line AB. Midpoint of line AB. Looking back to our graph, we now determine that our center of the circle is at coordinates 3 over 2 and 3. The only problem now is what is our radius. It will be a lot easier for us now to find the radius in this problem, since we already know our center. So recall that when we say radius, it means from center to any point of the circle are all equal. So looking in our line, okay, we could solve for the distance. It's either line AC or line CB. We will still have here the same radius. Now for me, I will try to get the distance of the line AC to find for our radius. So let's try to find the distance of line AC. The formula for our distance is square root of the quantity of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus the quantity of y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. Okay, let A be our first point. This will be x sub 1 and y sub 1, and our C will be our x sub 2 and y sub 2. Our C is our second point. So let's try to solve. Let's write square root. Our x sub 2, we have here 3 over 2 and minus our x sub 1 is negative 1 and then squared plus our y sub 2, which is 3 minus our y sub 1, which is 4 squared. Okay, let us first simplify our numbers inside. Okay, this will become 3 over 2. Negative times negative 1, we will have 3 over 2 plus 1 squared. Okay, but since we must simplify it further, 3 over 2 plus 1, that is equal to 5 over 2. 5 over 2 squared plus 3 minus 4, that is negative 1 squared. Okay, so 5 over 2 squared, that is equal to 25 over 4 plus negative 1 squared, that is positive 1. So 25 over 4 plus 1, that is equal to 29 over 4 square root. Okay, so our distance is equal to square root of 29 over 4. Okay, now let us input all our given and let's try to make a standard equation of the circle. So let's go back to our problem. So we already now determined our center with coordinates 3 over 2 and 3, and our radius, which is square root of 29 over 4. Okay, since our center is not located at the origin, we are going to use this equation. Okay, and let's start. Here at the center, our x-coordinate will serve as our h, and our y-coordinates will serve as our k. So let's try to input. We have here x minus our h, which is 3 over 2 squared plus y minus our k is 3 squared is equal to our radius, which is square root of 29 over 4. Don't forget the squared. Okay, and to finalize our equation, we will have x minus 3 over 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equal to, take note, we have your squared and square root. It will just simply remove our square root, so it will leave as 29 over 4. And this is now our standard equation of the circle with this problem. So I hope you learned a lot from my lesson. Don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel. Thank you.